All right, so this is live stream sound mixing. If you didn't watch the very first video in the mixer group, it shows how to turn this on, but I'll review it real quick. So once the key is turned on down here, you'll go ahead and turn on the Mac Mini that's here, and then it will load into Mac OS. So just like every other thing that's on the Dante network, you have to make sure that the Dante virtual sound card has a IP address. If it doesn't, it could be because it needs this start and stop needs to be toggled. It could be because the cable, Ethernet cable going from the computer over to the switch, which is down here, is disconnected. But in order for things to work here, you have to have that connection. But anyways, so this is set up using Logic. So you're going to go down to your dock and you're going to click the Logic button. It's this little silver record. So you press that. It will begin to load Logic Pro. Logic Pro is a Mac software that's used for making albums and mastering tracks and things like that. We're using it as a live sound mixer. It's going to try to load a couple plugins. Just hit quit on this Infinity EQ. It's not one we use anymore, but it's still in the base profile. It's going to go ahead and load all of our plugins. And there's quite a few plugins that are used on a regular basis. Okay, it's going to come up and just tell us, yep, that Infinity EQ is not working. And we're going to say, yep, we know. Okay, so let me show you real quick how this is set up. So what I like to do is I go down on this bottom one, I grab it, expand it. Now what we're seeing is two things. We're seeing two different screens. If you look, these have a bunch of orange ones, and these have a bunch of different colors. So if you're familiar with the mixing concept of a DCA or a group, that's what these are. So they're all labeled like drums, electric, acoustic, keys. So all you're gonna do here is like our loops, for instance, it's our tracks coming off the iPad. If we click that, it actually pulls up on the top screen all the different loops that we're doing. See, they're all there. If I click on, let's see, keys bus. Click on keys, it updates the top screen with all my keys channels. So just like on a regular mixer, you're gonna be selecting the group, and then you'll be coming up and you'll be mixing the individual channels. So you're listening to them with the headphones and you'll be getting the nice mix that you want. And then you can actually grab the group and you can bring it up as a group. And if you notice, it also adjusts down here. So however you want to do it, you can do your individual mixes up here, and then come down here and mix your DCAs. The other thing to know about this is going to be the setup of the audio. So just so you understand how everything is connected. So we have what's called a preview bus, a broadcast master, and a master, as well as a broadcast bus. So these two are actually linked together, and this is what sends across the Dante network upstairs to the Boxcast live stream, which goes out to the internet. The preview bus is actually a copy of that, which we listen to here locally. So we have a set of headphones that goes into a headphones amp. There's a volume control here, and that is how we actually listen to the sound. Now we have it set up that way because Logic isn't really a live streaming software. So traditionally, if you were to like mute something or solo something, it would copy those changes to as being broadcast online, and we don't want that. We just want to be able to listen to things differently using the headphones. So that's why it's set up that way. But the key reason I'm showing you this is because when you're sending a live stream out, you want to make sure that your preview bus, not necessarily the fader, the faders are the same level, but the signal, you'll see these green lines jumping in down these level meters. You want to make sure that they're about the same. So that way what you're listening to in the headphones is relatively at the same volume as what's being sent online. So it's really, really important. I'm trying to think what else you need to know here. A lot of these plugins and everything are already set up. There's not really a whole lot you have to change on them. We try to do basically on the vocals bus, depending on who's singing in these channels, we can come up to this area here and we can click on here and we can pick the type of EQ that we want. There's like male EQs, female EQs, lead, background, all different types of like EQs that you can set. So I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much it. We try to make sure that when we're mixing audio that, you know, if there's a bunch of vocalists, sometimes we'll like see like Amy for Sunday, we put her in the right ear. We put Ted a little bit in the right ear. Amber was centered. John was centered. So we try to balance it because remember, you're mixing for headphones and you're mixing for small speakers and you're mixing for computers, not necessarily for a big sound system. So this has to be mixed just a little bit differently. That's it for doing live stream audio. I mean, this is something that someone will have to learn, but at least you get the basics of how it turns on.